in the heart of the ancient kingdom of Eldoria, where secrets whispered through cobblestone alleys and legends lived in every shadow, a fateful encounter unfolded one misty evening. Prince Darien, known throughout the realm for his gentle eyes and compassionate soul, wandered the moonlit streets of the market district. Although his royal blood marked him as the son of the iron-fisted King Alaric, a ruler whose oppressive decrees stifled hope and freedom, Darien's heart beat to a different rhythm. That night, as soft lantern light danced upon his path, his gaze fell upon a mysterious young woman whose presence radiated a quiet defiance and sorrow in equal measure. Her name was Leora, and though she carried an air of fragile beauty, there was a strength in her that few could comprehend. Clad in simple garments that belied the scars of her past, Leora moved with the cautious grace of someone who had learned to trust no one. For years, she had concealed the haunting memories of her childhood, a time when cruelty and betrayal were woven into the very fabric of her existence. Even as a child, Leora had witnessed the dark side of power. Her family had suffered at the hands of tyrants long before King Alaric's reign, and the bitter taste of injustice had driven her to forge an unyielding shield around her heart. When Prince Darien first approached her, it was not with the arrogance expected of a royal, but with a sincere curiosity that stirred something deep within Leora. Their conversation began with hesitant words about the weather and the quiet murmur of the night, but soon the prince's gentle inquiries unraveled the tightly wound layers of her guarded soul. Darien found himself enchanted by the mystery that shrouded her, a mystery that spoke of pain, loss, and a fierce desire to reclaim dignity from a world that had long denied her compassion. Unbeknownst to them, their meeting was set against the backdrop of growing unrest in Eldoria. King Alaric, a man whose reputation for cruelty was matched only by his unyielding determination to maintain control, had imposed harsh laws to subdue any spark of rebellion. His court was a realm of whispers and conspiracies, and even the most loyal subjects trembled under his stern gaze. Yet within this oppressive system, Prince Darien dared to dream of change. A future where love and respect might heal the scars inflicted by generations of tyranny. Over the following weeks, Darien sought every opportunity to encounter Leora. Each meeting, whether in the quiet solitude of a hidden garden or the crowded corridors of a bustling fair, deepened his admiration. He learned fragments of her story, how, as a young girl, she had lost her mother to the brutality of a man who claimed power in her own household, how her father's indifference and subsequent cruelty had forced her to flee, seeking refuge in the outskirts of the city, and how, even in the face of overwhelming odds, she had managed to survive by clinging to a stubborn hope that one day justice would prevail. Her past was woven with threads of sorrow and rebellion, a tapestry of memories that both haunted and defined her. One crisp autumn evening, as golden leaves drifted slowly to the ground, Darien invited Leora to a secluded glen beyond the castle walls, a place where the land still remembered the old ways, when nature and magic intertwined. There, beneath a canopy of ancient oaks, he revealed his longing for a world free of oppression, a realm where the burdens of the past could be left behind. In that moment, as the prince's words fell softly upon her ears, Leora felt the stirrings of something unexpected, a cautious hope that perhaps in this man's sincerity lay the promise of a different future. Yet their budding connection did not go unnoticed. Rumors of their secret meetings soon reached the ears of King Alaric, whose fury was as legendary as his cruelty. For the king, any hint of dissent, especially from his own son, was a betrayal of the crown. Determined to quash any threat to his iron rule, Alaric ordered his guards to keep a watchful eye on Darien, while also summoning advisors to devise a plan that would not only silence dissent, but also shatter the spirit of those who dared to dream of freedom. As days turned into tense weeks, the pressure of court intrigues and the ever-present shadow of the king's wrath began to weigh heavily on Darien's conscience. Still, his love for Leora gave him the strength to stand firm. Their clandestine meetings continued, each one filled with whispered hopes and the promise of a future reborn. The prince, though gentle in nature, began to adopt a steely resolve, a determination to challenge the legacy of cruelty that had plagued his family for so long. In Leora's eyes, he saw not only the pain of a wounded past, but also the spark of defiance that could ignite a revolution of the heart and mind. One fateful night, as a fierce storm roiled over Eldoria, the two lovers found themselves trapped in an abandoned stone chapel on the outskirts of the city. The wind howled like a chorus of lost souls, and the rain battered the ancient walls with relentless fury. In that moment of isolation, as thunder shook the heavens, Leora finally bared the secrets of her past. With a trembling voice, she recounted the brutal memories of her childhood, a narrative of a family torn apart by the cruelty of those in power, of a mother whose gentle laughter was silenced by violence, and of a young girl who had learned to hide her true self in order to survive. Tears mingled with the rain as Leora confessed that her inner strength had been born out of the very wounds inflicted by the abuse and injustice of her early years. Every scar was a reminder of the time when she felt powerless, when every act of domination had stripped away a piece of her innocence. Yet in sharing her truth, she discovered an unexpected catharsis. Prince Darien listened with profound sorrow and empathy, his heart aching not only for her loss, but also for the countless souls oppressed under King Alaric's reign. In the days that followed, the storm's fury subsided, but the turmoil within the kingdom only deepened. King Alaric, enraged by the defiance of his son and the challenge posed by Leora's unwavering spirit, arranged a grand council to reassert his dominance. At the palace, in a hall adorned with dark tapestries and flickering torches, the oppressive king demanded an explanation for Darien's disobedience. With a voice that trembled between duty and rebellion, Darien spoke of a future where love and respect triumphed over tyranny. His words, filled with the passion of his heart and the quiet strength he had found in Leora, sent ripples of hope through the discontented crowd. Yet even as the assembled nobles murmured their support, the king's eyes burned with a rage that could not be quenched. The turning point came on a cold winter's eve. As the kingdom braced itself against the chill of both the season and the king's impending retribution, an unforeseen twist shattered the delicate balance of power. During a ceremonial procession intended to showcase the might of King Alaric's rule, a sudden act of rebellion erupted. In the midst of the pageantry, a group of dissidents, long hidden in the shadows, struck a blow against the palace guards. In the ensuing chaos, Prince Darien, driven by his desire to protect Leora and the hope of a kinder future, led a daring escape through secret passages known only to the palace's oldest servants. In a breathtaking climax, as the kingdom teetered on the brink of upheaval, Darien and Leora found themselves cornered near the ancient ruins that marked the edge of Eldoria's forgotten lands. With the oppressive king's forces closing in and betrayal lurking in every whispered word, the lovers clung to each other amid the crumbling stones. In that heart-stopping moment, Leora revealed one final, astonishing secret, a truth about her lineage that even she had not fully understood until now. She was not merely a survivor of cruelty, but the last scion of a once noble bloodline sworn to challenge tyranny. This revelation, mysterious and profound, held the power to change the fate of the entire kingdom. As the first light of dawn crept over the horizon, the echoes of the night's rebellion still reverberated in the air. King Alaric's forces lay scattered, and the oppressive regime trembled on the verge of collapse. Yet as Leora and Darien embraced, the future of Eldoria remained as unpredictable as ever. The prince's love had ignited a spark of hope, and Leora's dark past had paved the way for a revolution. Their union promised not a peaceful surrender, but a relentless quest to rebuild a realm where power was measured not by fear, but by the capacity to love and forgive. In a twist as beautiful as it was unforeseen, the kingdom would soon learn that the legacy of pain could be transformed into a beacon of light, a truth that would echo through generations. And so as the lovers vanished into the misty morning, Eldoria found itself at the dawn of a new era, where the clash between oppression and hope, cruelty and compassion would forever shape the destiny of a people brave enough to dream of freedom.
What did you learn from this story? You can support us by expressing your opinions in the comments and subscribing to our channel.